Ever wondered what a trip to the doctor was like in the Middle Ages? Well, forget everything you know about modern medicine, because we're about to dive into a world of bizarre and sometimes downright terrifying treatments. Get ready for the 9 most unusual medical practices from medieval times that you want to believe actually existed. First up, bloodletting. This was the go-to treatment for pretty much everything. Feeling feverish? Let's drain some blood. Got a headache? Bloodletting. The idea was to balance the 4 humors in the body: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. An imbalance was thought to cause illness. Doctors would use leeches or make a small incision with a tool called a lancet to let the excess blood flow out. Sometimes they took a little too much, which, as you can imagine, didn't exactly help the patient's recovery. Next on our list is something called trepanation. This involved drilling a hole into a person's skull. Yes, you heard that right, a hole in the head. It was believed to release evil spirits that were causing mental illness, headaches, or seizures. Archaeologists have found skulls with these holes that show signs of healing, meaning some people actually survived this risky procedure. It's a chilling reminder of how far we've come in understanding the brain. Now, let's talk about a real delicacy: powdered mummy. For centuries, people believed that grinding up ancient Egyptian mummies into a powder and consuming it could cure a whole range of ailments, from bruises to stomach ulcers. This was based on a misunderstanding of the word mumia, which originally referred to bitumen, a natural asphalt with some medicinal properties. The demand for mummies became so high that a black market for fake ones even emerged. Talk about a gruesome business. Moving on to number 4, we have urine analysis. While doctors today still analyze urine, the medieval version was a bit more hands-on. Physicians, known as piss prophets, would not only observe the color and sediment of a patient's urine, but also smell it and sometimes even taste it. They had elaborate charts that linked different colors and tastes to specific diseases. A sweet taste, for example, might indicate what we now know as diabetes. It was a surprisingly detailed, if not very pleasant, diagnostic tool. Feeling a bit under the weather? How about a spoonful of theriac? This was a legendary cure-all concoction that could contain up to 70 different ingredients, including viper's flesh, opium, and all sorts of rare herbs and minerals. The recipe was a closely guarded secret, and its creation was a major public event. Wealthy people would pay a fortune for a small dose of this miracle paste, hoping it would protect them from poison and disease. At number 6, we find the use of live animals in treatments. For example, to cure a fever, a doctor might cut a live pigeon in half and place it on the patient's feet. The belief was that the bird's warmth would draw the fever out of the body. Another popular remedy for gout involves strapping a live cat to the affected limb. It's hard to say who suffered more in these situations, the patient or the poor animal. Ever heard of the king's touch? This wasn't exactly a medical procedure, but a widespread belief. It was thought that the touch of a rightful monarch could cure a skin disease called scrofula, also known as the king's evil. Thousands of people would line up for a chance to be touched by the king or queen of England or France, hoping for a divine cure. This practice continued for centuries, blending medicine, religion, and politics in a very unique way. Let's venture into the world of surgery, medieval style. Imagine getting a cataract removed. The procedure, called couching, involved using a thick needle or a sharp instrument to push the clouded lens to the bottom of the eye. This would allow light to enter again, but without a lens to focus it, the patient's vision would be extremely blurry. It was a high-risk procedure with a very low success rate, often leading to total blindness or infection. But for someone living in darkness, it might have seemed like a risk worth taking. Finally, we have our 9th and perhaps most stomach-churning treatment, wound man. This wasn't the treatment itself, but a famous diagram found in surgical texts. It depicted a man covered in every imaginable injury stab wounds, fractures, bites from venomous animals, you name it. It served as a visual index for surgeons, showing them where different types of injuries might occur and how to treat them. It as a graphic illustration of the violent reality of medieval life and the challenges faced by its doctors. From drilling holes in skulls to eating powdered mummies, medieval medicine was a wild and often dangerous field. It is a fascinating look at how our ancestors tried to understand the human body with the limited knowledge they had. It certainly makes you appreciate your next visit to the doctor's office, doesn't it? Thanks for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found these bizarre treatments as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history's strangest corners. Let me know in the comments which treatment you found the most unbelievable. See you next time.